Okay. Welcome to the stream. Tonight, we are going to be diving into Reaktor. Just want to welcome you back to another Reaktor sound design session. I'm DannyXander, and today we're crafting a deep cinematic bass sound from scratch in just a few minutes. So we're going to get ready to deep dive into modular sound design magic, and let's fire up Reaktor and jump right in. So when you open up Reaktor for the very first time, you're going to be greeted with a page that looks something like this. So on your first load, you're going to see a play section, a patch section, and a build section. Today we're going to be working in the build section because it offers the most flexibility when you're building out stuff. So let's go. Next, we're going to need some basic modules when we're building. And those basic modules include our node in, our oscillator, and our VCA. So once we have our basic components, we can build out a modular synthesizer. And finally, we'll add in probably a mix 4. So we can combine signals from different devices. This gives us a clear setup and for our signal path and our signal chain, so we can start building. Okay, so now we're gonna jump right in, and we'll start off with a sine wave and get something going. Okay, so we will turn up our VCA. We got our sine wave, and we'll organize our panel so things can be nice and neat. Then we'll move everything over in a modular environment, and that's our first sound. So if this is your first time, congratulations, you made your first sound in Reaktor. So now we're going to start with a sine wave for our sub bass, and I'm going to add in a scope so that I can see what I'm doing. And let's connect that to the out. Then we are going to route. We're going to route through the VCA, which we have right here, and we cranked up the volume just so you can hear what we're doing. And now I'm going to add in a second oscillator. So I'm going to duplicate the oscillator that I have, and I'm going to name my oscillator so that I have versions, and I have 2 of them so that I know which one is which, even though they're exactly the same. So we got 2 oscillators here, and they'll be working together here for us in a minute. And now we're going to turn on our second oscillator. I'm going to put it on saw wave to add some grit. So we will add in, we won't add in another VCA actually. We'll just add in a mix so we can get that dialed in just the way we want it. So just going to do that. And that should be good to go. So we're going to check if our signal's still functioning. And okay, we're not getting any pitch. Why is that? Because we need to turn up our mix knobs. So Reaktor is not exactly intuitive at first glance, but once you learn the basics of modular synthesis and sound design, it becomes something that becomes very intuitive to understand. Because sound design is essentially, and sound in general is electrical pulses that are flowing. So now we can turn up and see if we get some sound. So we are getting some pitch. It's just very low. So if I turn on the wave form, we can get more than one pitch. So let's remove this mix 4 actually. I'm gonna connect it another way just cause let's see. So yeah, actually that was okay. Gonna put it back and so let's continue. And keep going with the build. So next we're gonna add in some sub. From oscillator 1. And let's add some control here for our amp. Second here. I'm going to open up back the program and continue. So we're getting at bass sound and the higher pitches. Okay, so we're getting a sound now. So let's turn it up. Let's mess with that pitch. Okay, so we can make this more dynamic over time by adding in something we call an LFO. So that stands for low frequency oscillator, and that will help us to control the oscillation of anything, any parameter. So I've added it to an oscillator. So now so I can get even more control over the sound, I'm going to add one more thing, and that'll be a filter. And it does exactly what you think it does. It filters the sound. So we brought in a low pass filter to cut some of the highs out. To add some vibrato, and it helps our sound to come to more to life. We've also added in a filter to cut off any frequencies that we did not want to hear, and it keeps our sound evolving. And the finishing touch might be some reverb or delay to give our sound a more atmospheric feel. So to make this more of a bass sound, let's pitch it a little bit. So there we have it. So we have more of a bass sound. And some movement. So and there we have it. We can make it even bigger if we add in some, let's say we add in some reverb or delay. Can make it seem like it's in a bigger space, and that'll just finish it off. And there we have it. So just to wrap this up, we've created more of a cinematic bass sound in context. And imagine this in a film score or a game or music or game music tweaked to your liking, and the sky's the limit. So if you enjoyed this, be sure to like and subscribe. And my full sound design course dives even deeper into sound creation, and the link is in the description below. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next stream. Let me just show you the view.